Welcome, everyone. It's Monday. Now what? What you gonna do today? Whatever will you do today? Listen, we've just come through the weekend. And some of us, well, were productive. Some of us feel like we were. Some of us feel like we weren't. Now what are you gonna do about that? My son asked me a very interesting question. He says, Ma, are there things in life where you wish you could just go back? And we had such a great conversation. And I was like, go back. You see, once you have grown, right, there is no going back, right? You've grown. You've matured in some way. One does not go backwards. We always go forward because whatever situation you were in, it changed you. Now, we're not talking about how it changed you, good, bad, indifferent. Just recognize the fact that you've changed. You're no longer the same person. And it's very interesting. Sometimes we don't like that change. Sometimes we do like that change. But see, sometimes we spend so much time wanting to go back, longing to go back. Why? Why do we do that? Recognize the fact that you have indeed grown. Recognize the fact that you're no longer the same, whether good, bad, or indifferent. To move from that spot now, because now what? What do you do? Now is when you ask yourself, is this what I want? You see why you do it with no judgment? I tell it to you every day. Every time you show up, I tell it to you. Don't judge the situation. Examine the situation to see what it is saying to you about yourself. That part. You examine the situation to see what it is telling you about yourself. All the time, every single situation. That's the what you're going to do. That's what you'll do. What is the point of, I like the way Neville said it, regret reinfects. Ooh. It's a lot of people don't see how it shows up in the body. So it's challenging sometimes to say, well, Angela, what do you mean? Why shouldn't I look back? Why shouldn't I want to change the past? Why not? Look at where the energy goes when you sit in regret. Look at what it feels like. That's the point. You see, it's not necessarily that you regret it, it's just that what it feels like, and you don't like it. So then, now what do you do with that? You can say, well, I don't want to go through that again. So how must you change? What must you become? Must you become more secure in yourself? Remember how security works. You see, when we're learning what we want to become, confidence is the natural byproduct of that. So if you take your time to answer the question, what do you want to become? Well, then, when you answer it and you start to follow through with it, then it unfolds. We're so used to chasing things. We're so used to the elbow grease and the grunt work that we don't see the ease by which we can do something. Like, I was finishing up a project, and I thought it was going to take me longer, actually. I thought I would have finished on Sunday or Monday. But I was so engrossed in the book that I finished it with 4 hours before I had to go to my part-time job. And I thought, because here I was like, oh, I don't even know if I want to do this. I just, I just wasn't, quote unquote, feeling it. See, now this is why you choose the type of projects that you do, right? I said, girl, get this book done and let's get it off the table. I sat down to read the book and I finished that book in record time because the content of the book pulled me right through anything I was feeling or not feeling. You see, that's why I'm telling you, just start. The thing that you want to become will pull you. You don't have to fight. It will pull you. That book wasn't due until the 9th. And I finished it on the 3rd. And I was like, ow. Because the content will pull you through. So you just make this choice and you start. Because people say, well, now what do I do? Make a decision. And when you see the light go on for someone, that's a cause for celebration. I had front row seats. I sure did. To observe a change. So I'm telling you, once you make that choice, it will pull you along and it will always be there. That's what you do to help yourself. And it's like the help is built in. Oh, oh, I can hear him. The help is built in. The help is built in. That's the point. Whether you are going to choose something good, bad, indifferent, the help is there. It is. Think about it. You want to change your life. And the moment you decide what direction you want to go in, up pops an opportunity. Every single time, whether it is good, bad, or indifferent, the moment you make a choice, an opportunity presents itself for you. Every single time. It's not my opinion. Look at your life and you'll see what I'm talking about. Every time you make a choice, an opportunity shows up. Now what will you do with that opportunity? Will you look at the opportunity and go, but that's too good to be true? Or, what a coincidence? Or, what are you going to do? Will you use the opportunity because it's showing you exactly what path to take? the opportunity will tell you what action to take as well. But what do? We sit and we say, I don't know what to do. Nothing is changing. My life is the same every single day. It cannot change unless you change. You are the one. I will put it to you this way. Like I've always told you, you are standing in front of the mirror. And if you say, well, this outfit sucks, do you break the mirror because the outfit sucks? You change your outfit. So if you're looking at the mirror of your life is showing you what you are wearing, what mental attitude, what mood you are wearing. Now, what will you do with that? And then I usually get this question. Angela, are you saying I did this to myself? I would never do something like this to myself. How could you be so cruel and cold as to say such a thing? Well, I didn't do it to you. You see what the problem with judgment is? Instead of looking at it and saying, I didn't do this, look at it and recognize the mental attitude or the mental mood that you are in. It is always going to be your mental attitude. That is the root. That is the foundation. It's the foundation. But here we are, shaking our fists at our life, talking about it's not going the way I want it to. You go back to the drawing board. What way do you want it to go? You want it to go in the direction where your neighbors will like you and appreciate you? Or do you want it to go in a direction where you have the confidence to be who and what you want to be in the world? Well, you got to choose one of those things. And it's not making anybody like you. I will remind you of this. If I don't like the color pink, okay, or green, and you're wearing it, and I go, ugh, I can't stand that. I am not telling you that there's something wrong with you. I am telling you I don't like that color. When someone says, I don't like you, I don't want to be around you, it has nothing to do with you. They're speaking from their preference. Their past experience dictates their present actions. Oh, you thought any of us were different? You think we're living now, some of us? Shoot, all of us have dragged something from the past, and we are reliving it, and we're using it to paint the present. We are using our past experiences to paint our present experience. And then we say, why is it not changing? So, how does one change? We change by first identifying what the problem is. Oh man, I don't want to be like, I don't want to live my life like. That's the best place to start because it clearly will show you. If you say, I'm tired of being lonely, what do you think you're actually saying? That you would like to make some friends. So now, what must you become to make friends? Friendly. It's as simple as that. And how do you become friendly? Now, what are the attributes of a friendly person, a kind person? What are those attributes? Some may smile. Some may say hello to whoever they come across. Listen, my son has always been, because he's been through some things, and he's always been reserved and he wouldn't speak to people. And after the conversation we had the night before, we didn't even go to bed till like 4 on Saturday morning. We didn't even go to bed because I came home from, was it? No, it was Saturday night. I came home from work on Saturday night and I stripped the house because you have to clean every day when you have chickens living in your house, or else you begin to smell like the barn, okay? Needless to say, I'm finally to the last end and I'm mopping the floor, and he says to me, Mom, let's talk while you're mopping. Long story short, we go out to the patisserie. You know, they make pastries. This French family, and oh, you could tell that was her son, you know. And he was there, and he was working with his mother. And we finally got our stuff, and she put it in this beautiful box and a little ribbon. And we both said, thanks. Have a great day. And she says, you enjoy your Sunday too. And I said, thanks, you as well. And we're walking away. My son says to me, Ma, wait a minute. He runs back and he says something to them. And the mother says, oh, that is so kind. That is so sweet. Thank you so very much. I heard her. I did not hear what he said. Now, remember, this is out of character for him because he just does not do that. So, because I had said to him, because remember we were having that conversation, and I said, you have to start. How are you going to change if you don't start? You have to initiate the change. Change, initiated. You have to initiate the change by choosing what you want to become. Well, I don't want to be shy anymore, Mama. Well, then, how does a non-shy person behave? That is where you start, by making that choice. When you get up and you make that choice every day. Until you stop making the choice and just start living that way. In the beginning, you must deliberately make the choice. And through practice, the choice that you made now becomes your lifestyle. You cannot give up. What if you were nice to somebody and they say, ugh, loser, I got too many problems to be nice? Are you going to stop? You don't stop. Their opinion has no bearing on who you say you want to become. Why do you think that some people are miserable? Because they have chosen, we all choose. And I'm trying to put as much honey upon this for you. You know, a spoonful of sugar, right? It's not a judgment. You are the one who says you want to change. But George comes along. If your name is George, it's not about you. It's just the first name that pops into my head every time. Okay, fine. What if your name was Cletus? So Cletus comes by and says, yeah, I'll be so happy. What's wrong with you? Can't you see the state of the world? and you want to retreat and go, oh, I make Cletus upset. Maybe I shouldn't be happy. No, Cletus is the one who has to rise to his change. You don't have control over Cletus. You said you wanted to become. So practice what it is you want to become, in spite of the general opinion. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about becoming cold and cruel and mean and surly and violent. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Because remember, the pendulum swings, right? You could become anything you want to become. So if we have the power to become whatever we want to become, why not use it to become the best of ourselves? Oh, but Angela, nice guys finish last. You see what we've done? Nice guys finish last. Look at what we've done to ourselves. We've talked ourselves into being mean because we don't want to finish last. Who are you racing against? I mean, I'm just asking. Who are you racing against? It's only you in the mirror. You finish based upon how you start. Oh, that's my father right there. Daddy always says, you start wrong, you end wrong. I said, oh, Lord, Daddy. So that means if you start right, you finish right. Well, how? Well, as within, so without. The way you start can only end by that same means. In other words, if you plant corn, you will reap what? Peas? No. Corn. The way you start determines the way you finish. So the general population cannot tell you that nice guys finish last, or it is best to be a jerk. What type of person do you want to be? You get to determine that. And then when you realize that the person you said you wanted to become and other people now, they will rise. Oh, they will. Even the one who comes across as being surly and cantankerous, they all rise. When they rise, that's not your job. It is an internal job. Just like when you rose to the occasion. Who dictated that? You did. So today, my beautiful friends, now what will you do with this information? You say, well, Angela, it sounds nice and all, but I don't really know if that works for me or not. That might work for other people, but you see, my situation is different. To which I will say, is it? There is something called the pattern man. Neville Goddard spoke about it. Man not meaning male, but human. We all are the same. There is a pattern that we all follow. I was in a space yesterday and I heard that, because like I said, this is what we do to ourselves. We talk about men don't cry. Why do you have tear ducts if you don't cry? You think they're just there for design? But we've spent so much time judging tears as weakness that now men won't cry. Some women won't cry either. To which I always say, if you weren't supposed to cry, if I wasn't supposed to cry, we would not have tear ducts. They lubricate the eyes by producing tears. You think that men don't feel? We are human. We all feel. Now, the way we express those feelings are going to be based upon what we are. Men are fiery creatures. Oh, yes. Women, well, we're watery. So we move different. Fire and water do not behave in the same fashion. So how can we expect each other to behave in the same way in our expression? But rest assured, an expression must happen because it is our nature. We paint ourselves into a box when we say men don't cry or women are too emotional. What, you think fire isn't emotional? Oh, the emotion of fire is hot. The emotion of water, well, is persistence. But they both do the same thing. So I told you that to say we paint ourselves into a corner with judgment. Rub some dirt in it. What? Are you looking for an infection? You better clean that up. You don't rub dirt in things. You don't pretend they don't happen. That's why I tell you every day you don't judge. But you seek to understand. Understanding is the light that will, thy word is a light unto my feet and a lamp unto my path. I think that's how it goes. That's what comprehension will do for you. It will help you to understand yourself, thereby understanding others. We are patterned. We have a way as humans. That's how you know we're human. And we have feelings. Now, how we choose to express the feeling, well, that's a lesson to learn, isn't it? But they must be expressed. Why must they be expressed? Why do volcanoes happen? You must relieve the pressure. At first, the volcano seems disruptive. It seems destructive. It seems to be a nuisance. Oh my God, there's so much ash. Ask Pompeii. But if they don't happen, those controlled outbursts, if they don't happen, sooner or later they will happen. This is why you take the time to assess what you're presently going through and you deal with it by understanding where it came from and why you're doing it, and then make a choice to change or act accordingly. You do not bury it. They're not seeds. You think because you pretend it isn't there that it's gone somewhere? You've seen that. They keep sweeping the thing under the rug and then the hump under the rug just keeps getting bigger? Right. That is not how we should live our lives. That is a very destructive way to live the life. You just examine. What is this experience I keep having? Just examine it. You look at it, and when you see what you're continually doing, you will have discovered your pattern. And when you see the pattern, you say, well, I'm not quite a fan of this pattern. That's nice. Now, what pattern will you choose? You see, sometimes we say, well, I don't want to do that anymore. That's great, but what do you want to do? You cannot have a void. Cause and effect. If there is an effect, there was a cause. And if there is a cause, there will be an effect. So you cannot say, I don't want to do that anymore. That is an effect. You don't want to do that thing anymore. It is an effect. Then you must change the cause. So if you say, I want to quit smoking, That's nice. What do you want to do instead? You must select something else. It cannot be empty space. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. The pendulum doesn't just swing in one direction, it goes both ways. Thus, you cannot have an empty space. You cannot just say, I don't want to. You must choose. Good morning, sunshine. You must choose what to replace it with. Why? So that you can be successful. Because if you keep saying, well, I don't want to do that, and not choose what else to do, what do you think will happen? Well, you will go right back to what you've always done because you've not chosen somewhere else to be. It is as simple as that. Now, I have prattled on long enough. Clearly, a little bit thinks so. Guess why he's singing his song so early. Yes, handsome. So you see, every rooster has a pattern. They don't all sound the same. They do not all sound the same, but they all crow, each rooster. That is the pattern of a rooster, same way the pattern of a hen is to lay eggs. Everything has a pattern, and the way it expresses that pattern. Your job is to identify the pattern, not to judge it. Identify the pattern, and then decide if you want to keep that pattern or choose a new one. But I don't know what to choose. What if I make the wrong choice? Is there such a thing, really? How will you know it's the wrong one if you don't choose it? This is why when you sit down to make a choice, what we naturally do is play out each one that we can think of in our mind's eye. And the one that feels best is the one we go with. I mean, Nikola Tesla did it because we all do it. That's what humanity does. We just don't know. He knew that he was doing it, though. He was very deliberate in it. That's the difference with people. The ones who are deliberate and the ones who are not. Always seek to be deliberate. Why? Because if you are deliberate, you're the one steering the ship. If you're just unwitting, you are being led. It is always best to lead one's self. You'll know where you're going if you lead yourself, but if you just follow, where are you going to end up if you just follow? Anywho, he's just singing his song today. And something interesting happened. It always does, but I was coming down the stairs, and he knew I was coming down the stairs. And he was like, you know how a king enters a room and there's a trumpet that blasts? That's what he did. I said, oh, what a welcome. Why, thank you, sir. That's just what he is. It's like the simple things. Oh, and I'll have you know, popcorn. Popcorn pecked me on the lip yesterday. I was not impressed. Here I am trying to clean up, so I'm on the ground. And she's a firecracker, that one. God. And she is so fast. And I'm like, I'm just trying to clean up, and she thinks I've brought something to eat. And I'm like, I'm just trying to clean up. But because she's so pesky, I like to pet her. Oh, and she was not having it. And I was like, ow! And I was like, oh, fine. I will go away. But I ain't mad at her. She's, after all, just doing what she's supposed to do because that's what they do. They peck. Especially when you bug them. But will that stop me, though? Hmm. No, I'm much like Elvira. Love him and squeeze him and call him George. That's me. But such is life, right? When you're picking the rose for the first time and the thorn catches you, you say, "Oh!" Do you stop loving roses because they have thorns? Or do you just become aware of the thorns now? Hmm. It doesn't take away from the beauty of the rose. I'm not so sure it enhances either, but I don't know the purpose. Perhaps it gives something the ants to exercise upon. I don't know why thorns are there, but they are, right? One does not curse the thorns. Just put your hands behind your back and lean forward and smell the blossom. That's the purpose. See? You've got this. Whatever the situation is, you are the champion of the situation because the situation requires you to be in it. So if the situation requires you, well, then so does the change. Remember step one. What do I want to become? Step two. Begin to experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you did become it. There's something that you would be doing. Writers will write. Mind you, is it a whiskey? Called Writer's Tears. The name is just because that's what writers do, and they have writer's block or whatever it is. And they need to take a break. Writer's Tears is what it's called. But writers write, writers edit, writers type. What would you be doing if you were the writer you wanted to be? There is something. What would you be doing? Identify it and start doing it in your mind's eye. Try it on for size. Test it out. Feel it out. And when you start putting it on in your mind's eye, you say, I like the way that feels, but it could feel a little better. What can I do to enhance this feeling of this writer I'm supposed to be? Is it a Pulitzer? I don't know. You do, though. What would it be to enhance that feeling? So now you've enhanced the feeling. You go, you know what? This is just right. Or maybe I need a little bit more. But you don't know till you start trying it on in your mind's eye. You start doing it in your mind's eye. You start experiencing in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. That's what you do. You try it on. And when it fits just right. Now, how do you know it fit just right? Because it feels good. Amen, little bit. You were right on because it feels. The feeling will confirm what you think is true. So now that you've got the feeling of this thing that you're living out in your mind's eye, that you're rehearsing every day and you're practicing every day, well, bask in the feeling of the goodness and the accomplishment of it. Remember, you're not pretending. So long as the body registers something, it says it is true. If it wasn't true, it wouldn't have registered. You wouldn't have had that chemical reaction in your body. Hmm. So, what do you do with that feeling? Every time you get into the mood of being the best writer there is, right? Every time you get into that mood and you associate that mood with that feeling of accomplishment, now you're beginning to build what seems to be invisible. You are neurologically building the pathway of writer and how the writer will behave. Every time you rehearse it, you're laying down a brick. every time, or you're laying down a rung in the ladder. Either way, you are creating the pathway that you will follow every time you say, I am an amazing writer. You're creating the evidence of that. That is why you rehearse it. You do not grow weary in your rehearsal. If you grow weary in your rehearsal, you stop building the bridge. If you stop building the bridge, what are you going to walk across? Because you don't have wings. How are you going to get across the bridge if you don't build it? And we build it by persisting in the feeling that is generated when we say, oh, well, that is nice. That is exactly what I'd be doing if I were that. Oh, and every day you live it out and you rehearse. Why do you rehearse? The same reason any actor rehearses. So they get their lines right. So they can do what? Act it out. Live it out. Somebody posted a video of Blue Ivy, and some of her friends or people online were making fun of her dance moves. And she says, well, it just means I need to practice more. And that wee slip of a thing just kept practicing and practicing. And now she's the one standing in front of where? Millions of people. Doing what? The same thing she practiced. You think it just works for her? You think it's just who her mother is that she can practice? No. Everybody can practice. And you're seeing the evidence. I didn't ask you if you like Beyonce, because I'm not, that's not what I'm about. I don't care if you like her or not, because that's not what the point is. The point is, it is irrelevant who she is. The point of the story is this. Her wee little thing of a daughter said, it didn't feel good when they made fun of me. So I practiced, and I practiced, and I practiced, and I practiced. You think she just practiced once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day? She practiced what she wants to become. And it has nothing to do with nepotism. It simply has to do with the fact that what do you want to become? Well, practice that. And where is she practicing? Not only in her mind's eye, but in front of the mirror. You must see what you are doing, which means you've got to do it. So you're not just watching somebody dance and thinking, sure. No, you are going to have to practice those steps. So you begin to experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to become. Who's here with us today? Oh, Edward Scissorhands. All types, Angela, all types. As long as the word gets out, welcome, Edward Scissorhands. How appropriate, because I have chickens. Anyway, hello, Melly Mel. Hey, girl. I see you. Oh, Yoda Green is in the house with us on Twitter. Ow. I see you. Who's with us on Fanbase this morning? Oh, snap. Oh, oh my. We got quite the crowd today on Fanbase. Hey, Flo Smiles. Listen, Flo Smiles was in here. I opened the room and she popped in. And now KZ, my sweet KZ, Miss McQueen. Hello. Ray Ray. Oh, there, Deborah. I see you. Jessamine, I see you. Hey, honey. Michael. Oh, is that you, Baba Banatu? Oh, my. Welcome to the space. Listen, it is so good. How good and pleasant it is to spend time with you again on this beautiful Monday morning. Oh, yes. It's a little bit, is it overcast for us again today? Because it rained yesterday. Listen, Saturday was on point. Saturday was hot, hot, hot. This lady came into the store. She came in, she was wearing her sundress, and she was burnt. I said it was not that hot. She goes, well, for me, yes. because she's a redhead, right? She says, I'm a ginger, and it needs to do is get a little bit. I said, oh, she goes, I wish I had some of your melanin. I said, well, it is what it is. Right? And I was outside the same store, and people are walking by, and I'm like, how did they get sunburnt? What the hell were they doing in the sun? Like, what now? Why? How do you just go and be burnt? Like, I don't understand. If you are outside and it is hot, honey, seek shelter. Okay, seek some shade. Okay. Because I don't like to be hot, like unnecessarily. So I'm not going to be standing in the noonday sun. No, I'll be working in the shade, let me tell you. But I was rather surprised. I was like, it couldn't have been that hot. I did see a lot of sunburnt people, but thank goodness for the rain on Sunday. So I don't know what the temperature is going to be today, but it's supposed to be a great week. I don't know how true that is because the weatherman is like not trustworthy. Not for the most part. But anywho, this morning when you hear the chime, because you had plenty of chicken, when you hear the chime this morning, I need you to know. And it's not through hearsay that you know. It is through experience. And how does one gain an experience? By testing it out for yourself. And if little blue Ivy can dance across the stage in front of millions of people, what can you accomplish with a little bit of practice? Hmm. I wonder what you can accomplish. As you hear the chime this morning, ask yourself, what do I want to become? Let me start practicing in my mind's eye what I would be doing if I became it. How would I walk? How would I talk? How would I enter a room? How would I bathe? How would I cook my food? How would I greet my neighbors? All of that changes when you become who you want to become. And doesn't it make you feel good? Ow! Let me get the chime. I can't even tell you which chime is where today. I don't know. Because I can't see. Um, that's the evening one. This is daytime. I know what chime you are. Countdown initiated. 4, 3, 2. Come on, big fella. Yay! That was number one. Thank you all for being here on this glorious Monday. Go forth into the world and know thyself. And I'll see you again tomorrow, right here in these YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, fan base streets. Yes, and a little bit will be here too. Oh, he will. In all of his glory, he'll be here, sharing that glory with you. Anywho, I love you all, and I'll see you 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Much love to each and every one of you.